Well, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Always excited to be with you. Excited to share this report that I pulled from two different places and kind of combining them. And I'm going to kind of show you how this works together. It's you have to follow me through this one, but I think this is really powerful, and it shows how we can win, okay? It's called bankrupting them, okay? And I'm going to show you how this works. But before I get into that real quick, I just want to thank my sponsors, Freedom Hill Coffee, MyPillow.com, and also My Patriot Supply. The links are all below, but you can save up to 66% at MyPillow.com by simply using promo code Lumberjack, or use the affiliate link down below and save 10% for Freedom Hill Coffee. Okay, now I want to get into this. Now, this is from two separate articles, okay? So the first one I'm going to share with you is from the Epoch Times. Parents group sues Massachusetts school district over racial segregation and abuse of students, okay? A national parents group filed federal civil rights lawsuits against a public school district in Massachusetts for allegedly violating the U.S. Constitution by racially segregating students into affinity groups and imposing a student speech code. So this is wild. You have to think about this. I thought that's why we went through the stuff in the 1960s, was to eliminate segregation. Now they're just calling it under a different word, affinity groups. Okay, this is the great division they are trying to cause, but a parents group is suing them. The lawsuit comes as parents and the education establishment across the United States are battling over CRT and the systemic racism that leftists argue plague the nation. And now, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and then I remember during the 2000s, I didn't see so much of this, folks. It was not, and I lived in the city. I lived in a fairly diverse neighborhood, and we just all got along. I don't know. I played basketball in the hood. We got along. Now it seems like this is all just whacked. Okay, but almost 70 years ago, the Supreme Court precedent established that public schools cannot segregate students by race, and students do not abandon the First Amendment rights at the schoolhouse gate, states the legal complaint in Parents Defending Education versus Wellesley Public Schools, which was filed October 19th in U.S. District Court for the District of Massachusetts. Okay, I'm going to leave this article for a second so you can see, okay, that's a strategy of suing them, all right? Now, here's where it gets good. You have to understand the trouble that these people are in because they're liberals. They overspend. They don't know how to manage that dollar because they figure that we as the taxpayers are just going to fund them with more, and we are just viewed as the unworthy plebs that they can pull money from. School board group that equated parental activism with domestic terrorism owes IRS $20 million. A national education group that implied some parental activism is tantamount to domestic terrorism owes nearly $20 million to the IRS, according to tax forms reviewed by Just the News. Most of that comes from accrued pension liability, as disclosed by the National School Boards Association's 2017 and 2018 Form 990 filings. Unlike those two, the 2019 form, the most recently filed, does not include an itemized list under the federal income taxes subheading for other liabilities. Its liabilities have exceeded its assets by around 2 to 1. Okay? Its liabilities have exceeded its assets by around 2 to 1, okay? In recent years, and up to 7 to 1 in the first half of 2010s, according to rundowns by ProPublica. Just the News couldn't find any IRS action seeking recovery of the money. Of course not, because the IRS just, loves them. But there can be a push, and they are an agency. Well, the IRS should just be eliminated. Anyways, that's a whole other thing. But the bottom line is these agencies are troubled. So if you want to know how we win, this is where it gets really good. So there's the lawsuits. There's the putting pressure on the IRS to recover the money. But the biggest one, folks, is you pull your kids from their schools. That's why they're walking this back right now. That's why this organization is trying to walk back the statements they made, because parents are ticked, okay? And now they're pulling their kids. And now that hits the pocketbook. I'm telling you, liberals care about money more than anything. Don't ever kid yourself, okay? These people are whacked, they are power hungry, and they care about money. And if we pull that money away from them, you will see change, folks. That's why you need to cancel Prime. You need to do all these things to pull money away from those jokers. Anyways, I love you, folks, okay? Remember, go to lumberjacklogicshow.com. Check out the new merch. It'll be up tomorrow. Love you. Peace out.